Hello everyone. Today, I will explain the 5 schools of penology and how they differ in their views on why people commit crimes and what punishment should be applied. These are the pre-classical school, classical school, neoclassical school, positivist school, and sociological schools. Now, let's proceed to the first one. First is the pre-classical school. This was the earliest stage of truth. Before scientific reasoning developed, people believed crime was caused by supernatural forces like evil spirits or even the devil. Punishment were extremely harsh and cruel, such as torture, death, or exile, because the goal was to drive out evil or satisfy the divine justice. There was no focus on fairness, only on fear and retribution. Now, second is the classical school, emerging in the 18th century with thinkers like Cesar Beccaria and Jeremy Bentham. The classical school rejected superstition and argued that people commit crimes out of free will and rational choices. They believed criminals weighed the pleasure of crime against the pain of the punishment. Therefore, punishment should be certain, swift, and proportionate, not cruel. The main purpose was deterrence, both for offender and for society at large. The third is the neoclassical school. This school refined the classical ideas by recognizing that not everyone has equal capacity for rational choice. For example, children and mentally ill, or those acting under strong external pressure, might not be fully responsible for their doing. Neoclassical thinkers are supported deterrence and proportionate punishment, but they allowed for exemption and mitigating circumstances in sentencing. Fourth, the positivist school. In the 19th century, the positivist school, led by Cesar Lombroso and others, argued that crime is not just a matter of free will. Instead, it can be explained by biological traits, psychological conditions, or social factors. For example, some people might have mental illness, inherited tendencies, or poor environments that push them to commit crime or towards on the crime. From this perspective, punishment should focus on treatment, rehabilitation, and scientific study of the criminal, rather than simple retribution. And for the last one is the sociological school. The sociological school sees crime as a product of society and environment. It argues that poverty, inequality, unemployment, and lack of education create conditions that encourage crime or to commit a crime. In this view, punishment alone is not enough. The solution should also involve reforming social structure, improving education, reducing poverty, and creating opportunities so that the fewer people commit crime in the first place. And for the conclusion, together, these schools show the evolution of thinking about crime from superstition and harsh punishment to a more scientific and social understanding on why crime happens and how it should be addressed. And that's all for the 5 schools of penology. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something.